Hey everyone, my name is Justin Varnes. I'm with the Jazz Legacy Project, and with me is our very special guest vocalist for this concert, Miss Maria Howell. How you doing tonight, Maria?
I'm doing so well. How are you?
I'm doing well. We're really excited to come up to Crossville and do this
Mhm.
concert for Cumberland County, and so we thought it might be fun to do a little interview session. So I'm going to ask Maria some questions. She's going to ask me some questions, and hope you'll help everybody get a feel for what we're doing. As a reminder, we're going to be there on Thursday, February 26th. Showtime is at 7 p.m. at the Cumberland County Playhouse. Miss Maria, do you want to
Yeah.
start it here?
Yeah, let me ask you a question. So, jazz is a living and breathing art form. Now, how does the Jazz Legacy Project balance honoring the original sound while bringing something fresh to today's audience?
Well, this is one we've discussed this a lot. Like when we're on these like long van rides to the next gig, this is a pretty a common topic. So
Mhm.
the simplest answer is to say we always like to picture that the artist we're honoring is sitting in the front row. That
Mm,
artist does not want to hear an impression of themselves. They
wow.
don't want to hear the music just as they recorded it back, however many decades ago, but they do want their music honored. There was a reason, an intention for recording this song or doing
Mhm.
it this way. So that's kind of like our North Star. If
Mhm.
Billie Holiday's in the audience, she doesn't want to hear a Billie Holiday impression, but
Right.
she also doesn't want to change her music so much that it's unrecognizable, or we do something that really takes it away from why she recorded it in the first place. So that's really the kind of line that we tell. We're not as you know, Miss Maria, we're not like a tribute act in that
No,
way. But yeah, we want Billie. We picture her sitting in the audience, going, "Yeah, that's
because we honor her.
yes,
We
exactly,
honor her. We honor all the things that she's influenced and inspired us to
yes,
do.
ma'am, yeah."
Yeah.
All right, so
Mhm.
now I'm gonna turn the tables on you and ask you a question.
Okay.
How does doing like a live jazz performance keep
Mhm.
people like Billie Holiday, keep them relevant for new generations? Like, how do you kind of channel that?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. First of all, I think it really informs an audience, young and old. It informs them because every time we perform this show, people walk away going, wow, I didn't know that. I'm so glad to hear the stories because there's something about the stories that link the music to something a person can relate to, and it connects them to the music. They can relate to the music better. And so I think that people mostly walk away with this feeling of an engaging attachment. They get really engulfed in what the music is all about, and the stories really tie all that together.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that the stories add a lot to it,
Hmm.
and I think the way you deliver it, I think it helps the audience feel like this music is like you said to me, like it's a living, breathing art form.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You are telling this story, even though it's an old story.
Hmm.
You're telling it and making it relevant for today. And
That's right. I
I,
do. And
I think
it's
audience
interesting
appreciate.
because I think if you take the same song and give it to five different singers, everybody's going to have a certain common thread, but they always infuse and insert themselves in the storytelling through music. So
Yeah,
it's always going to be different. And at the same time, it's still honoring.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. That was a good question. So let me take you to what makes this performance of God Bless the Child unique compared to the other tributes to Billie Holiday.
Well, I think you kind of answered it in this last question, but I'll kind of expand on it. I do think it's the stories. I
Mhm.
mean, like you were saying, like at every single show, people come up to us and they say that the stories and the historical and cultural context in which we kind of whether it's Billie Holiday or anyone else, but particularly for this God Bless the Child show with
Mhm.
Billie Holiday. I think it surprises them some to realize that she's had this impact on the singers that they listen to today, or the singers they grew up listening to. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes when we're able to connect that thread for them to go, wow, Diana Ross has this sound that
Yes.
now I understand comes from Billie Holiday. I never made
Right.
that connection before. So
Right.
I do think it's connecting that the past with the present, so that this art form and these amazing artists who contributed so much to the fabric of American culture,
Hmm.
people can remember that now and see
Yeah.
their music that they love and listen to with a little bit more historical and cultural
And
content.
they'll start listening to other artists a little closer too. But
Yeah.
Billie Holiday was my very first female jazz artist I fell in love with. And so she has truly influenced me. If you want to make that contemporary, I'm still
Yeah.
living, but I keep her alive through my music. And I really wanted to just visit every place Billie Holiday visited. I wanted to travel and perform in Carnegie Hall and, oh, just the whole thing.
Yeah.
People will hear through the stories, the venues, and it's amazing at this day and time that we still see clearly Billie Holiday's influence
Yeah.
on so many performers.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hmm.
Like it's like I said before, like it's kind of like woven into the fabric of
Hmm.
American popular music. It really is.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, like specific, the influence part and the
Hmm.
fact that you are in your own right every bit your own artist and performer,
Hmm.
it reminds me of a Billie Holiday quote, which was, if I'm going to sing like somebody else, then I don't need to sing at all. And so here
Yeah.
we are presenting Billie Holiday's music and
Hmm.
singing songs that she sung, but we aren't trying. How do you handle delivering this in a way that sounds like they
Hmm.
are here to learn about Billie Holiday, but they need to experience Maria Howell?
Yeah, that's a very fine line to navigate, and I personally do my best to channel her energy and all the things I know about her, yet bring myself to the table. There may be little parts that I'm going, oh, that lick, Billy, I love the way she did that. I want that. Because
Right.
they always say, every what's the quote about every artist? They don't borrow, they steal.
Yes, yes. Good artists borrow, great
Yes,
artists steal.
I'm a great artist.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I have stolen so much from Billie Holiday and I have made it, once it's in here, it becomes ours, not
Right.
just mine, not just hers, but ours. So I,
Yeah.
I live in that space.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to deliver certain little nuances, but at the same time, always bringing myself.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. What do you hope audiences will carry with them after the final note fades? That's a good question.
To truly understand how important Billie's musical and artistic legacy is on American popular culture.
Mhm.
Two, the sacrifices she made to stay true to herself and her to be just unflinchingly uncompromising when it comes to
Mhm.
being treated equally as a woman, as a black woman,
Mhm.
as a jazz musician, as a jazz singer. She'd made a lot of sacrifices that hurt her in her present career, and
Mhm.
in those sacrifices and her sticking to her guns helped so many artists after her.
Yeah.
I wish she could have lived to see the impact she's
Mm.
had on American popular music. So I think that just like the overall impact of what she was able to do. And the third thing is, if there are any artists in the audience, and when I say artists, I don't even necessarily just mean singers. I mean
Mhm.
artists.
Mhm.
The things that she did, that standing up for civil rights and choosing to sing songs that would get her in trouble, but she felt they were important enough to
Yeah.
sing, to create art that put stress in her life, but she still felt it was important enough to do. I think for any artists that would be sitting in the audience to understand that your art can outlive you and outlast you and
Right.
inspire people decades when after you've already created that art. It's out
Yeah.
there and it's going to be out there forever, and you never know who is going to pick it up
That is
and
true.
be inspired by it and move forward. And I think she's just the poster child for that, as an art, from artist to artist.
I mean, because we still say her name. I do with my students, say her name. they may not know who she is, but that
Right.
will cause them to want to go do some research. So
Yeah.
her legacy is just like the Jazz Legacy Project. Okay, I meant to ask you this question too. What excites you most about bringing this tribute to the Cumberland County Playhouse stage?
Uh, Honestly, Sam and her team and this great organization, the fact that they came together and said, we think it's important to
Mm,
bring Billie Holiday's story in, celebrate Black
yeah.
History Month. Um, that that excites me. It really does.
Hmm.
To connect not on this, like, massive scale, but way more like one-to-one, a
Hmm.
small group of people and come in, you know, I know we've talked about this a lot, Miss Maria, like, we
Hmm.
are nothing but storytellers,
That's right.
and
That's right.
and to tell, to get a small group of people together as opposed to thousands or millions, like, get hundreds of people together and tell these stories, and hopefully make a positive impact
Hmm.
on an entire community, and to know that the community, arts supporters, in that area were, like, excited to bring us in. That's what makes me excited. Like, I wanna help them,
Yeah.
reach their goal of making this impact in their community, so that
You know
fires me.
what's cool about that too? I'm going to piggyback on that. The fact that people will see how excited we are
Mhm. Oh,
to
yeah.
present it, because I get that a lot too. When people see the show, they're like, "You guys look like you're so like happy doing this," and so that makes
Yeah.
a lot of difference as well.
Well, and also that's to go back to the living, breathing art form of jazz, like,
Hmm.
if we if you sang these songs note for note the same every night, and I played the same drum beat every night, that's the sort of thing that when you go on tour, it can weigh on you, like,
Yeah,
sometimes it's hard to just get up and play the exact same thing and tell, basically, sing those songs exactly the same, but because that's not what we do.
no,
Every performance only happens that one time, and
that's
because of that, even though the stories themselves are the same, we tell them
hmm,
exactly how we're feeling about those right now.
that's right.
So, yeah, like, it's a great feeling because we love, like, when I say we, I'm talking about the band
Hmm.
that is playing behind you. Like, when you sing these songs, like, we still get goosebumps because you're delivering them to this audience exactly as you're feeling it, which is different than the night before, and
That
it'll
is
be
true.
different the
Well,
next time.
you know where I got that from?
Where
Billie Holiday. And you know why? Is
Why?
because she used to, in the speakeasies,
Mhm,
when she would go to different tables when she didn't have microphones,
mhm.
or a microphone rather, she would go to each table and she would sing that song differently to each table.
Wow. I did not
Yeah,
know that. I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
look at you. That's
yeah.
awesome. I did not
And
know that.
so I took that to heart early in my career, and I said, you know what? Change it up. Even
Yeah,
if it's a few notes, change it up.
yeah,
Yeah, change it up.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of these songs and
Mhm.
you changing them up, is there a particular song in this performance that resonates with you personally? I mean, it's one thing to embody her and
Mhm.
tell a story to the audience, in the hopes that it impacts them or resonates with them, but also, as an artist, it helps us if
Yeah.
we can really, if it when we're telling that story, it really resonates with us as well. Is there a particular song? Like, if you had one song to pick where that is,
That's
what
the
would it be?
hard thing because there are two.
Okay, oh, let's hear both of them then.
There are two that stand out for me,
Mhm,
and that's "Crazy He Calls Me"
mhm.
and "I'll Be Around" because I love ballads.
Yeah,
If I had to choose between a ballad and an up-tempo song, a lot of times it'd be a ballad.
yeah.
And those two, I maybe it's because they're ballads, I have time to sit with them differently than
Mhm.
lyrics flying by.
Right, right.
And I'm more immersed in the lyrics. So
Yeah,
yeah, those two especially.
okay. I like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
You didn't know that, did you?
I did not. That was great. I mean, the way you sing those 2, it does not surprise me.
I love those
And
songs.
and as the drummer, what's fun for me about ballads is because I love lyrics, I love playing
Mhm,
behind vocalists. When
mhm.
I'm playing a ballad, my job is a lot easier. I'm going a lot slower, I have less to do, and that helps me focus more on what you're singing. So the
Okay.
ballads are actually my even though
Ah.
I'm the drummer, I like to take solos and stuff. The ballads are my favorite too. So that's
Awesome.
good to know.
Awesome.
How about you got one more question for me?
Um, let's see here. What has been the most challenging or rewarding part of interpreting Billie Holiday's music?
Um, you know, it's funny. I think they're actually the same thing. The most,
Really?
yeah, I think the most challenging and ultimately what became the most rewarding
Mhm.
was finding the right voice to tell her story.
Mm,
Because you know, at the Jazz Legacy Project, we focus, you know, on tons of great jazz artists, and
mhm,
there have been several that, you know, we've been doing this for over 10 years, right?
mhm,
So there have been several artists that I have not been able to truly honor because I couldn't find the right
mm.
voice to tell that person's story. There's
Wow.
so many unique voices in this music, you know,
Yeah.
and so when you and I started working together,
Mhm,
you know, we worked together in Noel Friedline's band. You and Noel have that great band. When I started working with you in that band,
mhm.
it was like so up until that point, I had to keep avoiding doing when are you gonna do Billie Holiday? When
Oh,
you got, you know, oh
really?
yeah, it's just like, well,
That's
it's
news.
yeah, like I want to do it. I love her, but
Mhm.
I don't want to mess it up, you know.
As soon as you said her name, what was my reaction?
Oh, I know you were all over it. It was awesome. You're like, that's my girl.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
So then to, like, have that challenge early on and then have it be the most rewarding part is to have you
Mm.
present it because, you know, I know we've said it multiple times kind of in this little mock interview we're doing here, but,
Mhm,
um, you have this gift of, um, making like, Billy, as we talk about in the show, Billy's ability to take a song and make it so personal that you
mhm,
believe that this like, that she wrote it, that this is
mhm.
her story, this is about her.
Yeah.
You do that,
Wow.
and it's what's amazing to me is that we're trying to channel Billie Holiday, but it always kind of still comes out in the best of ways like
Mhm.
you, and again, I did not want a Billie Holiday impersonator.
Right.
That's not what we do here.
And I did not wanna do that either.
Yeah, yeah. So when I realized, like, you were the one, I was like, "Okay, yeah." So
Aw.
and then just to see the audiences react to how you deliver that and
Oh, wow.
see people moved in the audience, you know, like, that's another thing we'll talk a lot about is, like, it's one thing to get applause, you know, like,
Mhm.
sometimes as artists, we get addicted to applause, like, and we try to figure out how to get people to, like, what can we do to make
Yeah.
them clap louder? But, you know, to look into their eyes as you're singing and they're not applauding, you can see that they're remembering somebody
Mm, mm,
or they're remembering a story or they'll tear up because they'll think of a loved one. I mean,
yeah.
um, that's hard to do, particularly when you're singing
Mm.
somebody else's music, and I mean, you just have such a gift for it. So
Aw,
so
thank you
so
for that. Thank
just
you.
that journey of not knowing who would sing this and then finding you and then having you just do such an amazing
Okay, I
job.
think this deserves a
There it is, there it
Thank you.
is.
I I
Yes.
I mean, it's just I love her. That's it.
Well, I hope everybody gets a chance to come hear you express how much you love her through song. Yeah, so we're going to be at the Cumberland County Playhouse this Thursday, February
Mhm.
26th. Showtime is at 7 p.m. Please come out and check it out. I can't wait for you all to hear Miss Maria Howell again. Special thanks to everybody at Cumberland County Playhouse, Sam Hahn, and everybody there. So hope to see y'all out there. And we'll all. By the way, if you come, make sure to stick around. We'll do a little meet and greet, and
Yeah.
you can get a chance to connect with Miss Maria. So we'll see everybody then.
Looking forward to it.